one that's faster, more powerful. Not everyone does. But to reinvent music using a neural process.
Hello, everyone.
And we're live.
Shut the fuck up. I was supposed to be a secret.
I'm doing my moderator duties.
You do your job.
I'm here.
So your prediction though
I'm also here.
is saying no. Yeah, both of y'all's. Hey.
What is?
Yeah, because I don't die.
So wait, Crystal, I'm sorry.
Hi.
What was the point of keeping that a secret, though?
I started early. I started at least 30 seconds early. And I was wanting to see if anyone was going to say some shit that I could clip.
Oh,
And then Kyle over here being a good person, looking at his timer, and said, "We're live."
Yeah, his monitor.
I'll say shit you can clip without you having to put me on blast. I do it all the time.
You do though.
Flip it.
Flip it
Flip it and chip it.
Uh,
Oh no.
Right.
Welcome back. We're took another 2-week break. It's all right. We're back again. How's everyone doing?
Not bad.
Everybody's typing in the chat, doing their thing.
I'm here. We're good.
It's been a while, but you know, life happens, and we're here. I hope everybody had an awesome holiday. That also happened while we were away, and this week is not a holiday, so get over it. But anyway, anybody want to start with the recap, or do we want to jump around, do a thing?
Jump up and get down.
Yeah.
I have my
Carissa
notes.
said, "Hey, Carissa said they found their notes, so Carissa can start with the recap, and then everybody else can build." Oh! Didn't think that was gonna backfire, did it?
I mean, I figured it would eventually, but you know, that's fine.
I thought I had more time.
I thought I had more time. Is crazy. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, let me see. Hold on, I have to open both my notebooks because I switched notebooks halfway through. Oh my god, I think.
Look at you.
This session is sponsored by Obsidian, where you can put all your notes in one place and never have to worry about losing your notebook.
Hashtag not really sponsored. Hashtag please sponsor
Hashtag
us.
not really sponsored.
Acme is better.
Hashtag slander.
Alchemy is also really good, but if you don't possess the ability to pay for an Alchemy subscription, Obsidian is free.
Ooh.
Oh, but good sir, you don't need an alchemy subscription.
That's also true. I mean, we're playing in Alchemy. We like Alchemy enough to use it, so I don't think anybody's gonna be mad.
Yeah, I had to just chill for my platform of choice, though.
That's fair. And we all hate one other platform, which you all know the name of, and we're not gonna talk about it. But they're owned by Hasbro.
As we play the game.
Okay. So, last time we started the session, Carissa had brought Diaphanous back to life, and there was some consequences to that. And Nicolas did some healing. A couple flashbacks happened for Carissa personally. Then Lorik was able to get all of the pieces of the gems and attune to them. And then we got kind of popped back over into the throne room, and there was basically chaos everywhere, and we had to make decisions quickly. So Steel ended up coming into the keep and more or less just killing everyone. At that point, kind of realized that Steel was just wanted to take the city for themselves, and was in the process of doing that. So we pretty much decided to get out of town, literally. And we pretty much made it out of town unscathed. There's a lot of chaos going on. We were able to kind of slip through the gates. And then we got to the forest, and we decided to walk until one of us collapsed, which unfortunately was Nicolas. And then Seraph transported us all up into the treetops. And I think we each all got settled in a different part of the tree, had our own little moments to ourselves, and then went to sleep. Anything else? Anyone?
I will say you did learn some things when you went to sleep, Carissa.
I
don't
learned. I
know
learned
how
lots.
much you want to go into, but quite a bit of stuff was learned. For those at home, during the previous combat encounter, Carissa touched the tree, which nobody else managed to do at any point. And doing so, rolled poorly, and some consequences were had. And it's okay.
Correction, I was thrown into the tree
It still counts. You touched it.
unwillingly.
Hey. Trees don't ask for consent. I don't know what to tell you. Clip it.
Lark gave you a thing before you went to sleep.
Yes, Lork and Carissa had a conversation. Lork gave me something. It is now in my bag. And Carissa learned some things. And she needs to talk to some people about said things.
Oh.
Diaphanous lost his right arm.
Yes.
For dying and being revived.
Mm.
It was given back to him in a new form that I didn't write the description of, but it's different. He's a mixed match of body parts from who knows individuals.
Yeah, his new arm is made of porcelain and rose gold.
Hmm.
It's got like rose gold trimming, like porcelain, like over like I don't want to like fleshing. I guess like the bigger parts of the piece are all porcelain with like little painted kind of scenes on them.
Mhm.
And it has like mechanical bits inside that whir and turn.
Lork took trophies from the bird.
That's true.
I also hid when everybody else came in the room and I disappeared.
You did.
And I showed back up at the gate. Anyone else have anything?
I know Diaphanous had some pretty good dialogue with the stranger and kind of backed the stranger into a corner and found out some things. I really didn't write down much about that, but basically it was implied that the stranger wasn't necessarily sent here, and whoever he answers to really didn't know he was in the city to begin with.
That is also true.
Or at least that's what I wrote down.
That is correct. Yeah. There is something afoot with the stranger.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got? Trying to think. I think that's what I have. Well, seeing as we have done most of the recap, anybody else have anything else to add to that recap? Ava learned some stuff about Diaphanous
Did.
by looking through his personal belongings.
Button. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I did. I just took a sneak peek.
With a little look-see.
Yeah, just a little peeksy. So if I could read my own handwriting. I'm looking at it, I'm reading. What the hell did I fucking write?
Never hurts to take a peek. Never.
Nah, never. So within his bag, I took a little peek, and there was like a little glass bottle, that had like a storm brewing inside of it. Storms, storm clouds, something else, like a lightning bottle. I believe that was what you called it.
Yeah, it was a bottle with lightning in it, essentially, yeah.
But had no sound coming out of it. And then at the bottom was a small at the bottom of the bottle was a metallic rock, or was it at the bottom of his bag was a metallic rock?
The bottle.
The bottle, okay. And it attached to it was a note that said, oh my god, I didn't write all of it. Bring the rain with, and then ... My love for you is not boundless, but it is like the weather eternal. even if it comes in seasons, may you bring me with you as well. And it wasn't signed, but had a feeling that Dia would know exactly who it was from.
True. Yep. All of that makes sense. Anybody else have anything else to add as well? Cool. What's up, Kyle?
Said I do not.
All right. Well, I guess we will go ahead and start. You guys do begin in the tree where we left off. And as you guys wake, I think, how many of you are elves again? Lorik, I think, is the only one, and Carissa is technically an elf. So,
Yes.
agreed. Lorik would be awake first because Lorik only has to sleep for 4 hours. So Lorik, you would be the first one to kind of rise in this place. What would you like to do?
Well, first things first, is sort of relieve Seraph of their sentry duties and let them rest. And I will begin a sweep of the area, sort of fanning out mostly in the direction of whence we came and looking out for, well, any signs that we were followed.
Gotcha. You begin to go and look for signs of being followed. And you just spend the majority of the morning doing that. We'll go ahead and do like a you can do survival, or you can do like an investigation check if you want to. Either one would be fine.
Investigation it is. Well, that is a natural one.
No, no.
As far as you know, you guys are alone.
Cool. I return after a good 30 minutes
Mhm.
and confident that we are secure in our new location.
Yeah, you head back and begin to hang out as your party slowly wakes from their slumber. Who do we got next on the little list here? Let's see. Diaphanous, I think you wake up next.
I wake up. I go over to. Well, we don't have a way of making fire up in this tree, so I'll go over to Lorik.
Burn
and
the
I'll,
whole
give him a little
fucking
tap and be like,
forest down.
"Morning."
Jesus. That's how we started TPK.
I look across you, sort of taking in your new arm, and my eyes sort of fall upon the ring on your hand. I flick my eyes back towards you and just, morning. Coast seems clear so far.
Before everyone else gets up, so do you have like a plan for dealing with your father, or are we just gonna kind of wing it?
Deal with him? What do you mean?
Like, are we just gonna sneak in, or are we gonna try and negotiate? Because I gotta tell you, based on our last couple sessions, not exactly a stealthy party we're running with.
You see, Lork kind of stammers for a moment. Just, you know, I'm not too sure what we're going to do. The hope would have been to catch her in transit, or perhaps a small strike team or something of the sort. But in all likelihood, it would probably be best to present myself and make my return known. It'll be a one-way ticket straight into the abode. I'm sure we'll get to see Hope face to face, and go from there, I guess. Negotiating's probably the way.
Okay. I respect that. What do we have to negotiate with?
Well,
Like, what are
appealing
our
to his better
assets?
sensibilities, so it's not going to work.
Mhm.
He's a man that has everything he wants, so nothing of material value. And
I mean, it kind of
before you
sounded like he
suggested-
wants you.
I'm not going back.
So, what else do you have to offer?
Well, that sounds like a question for the wider party here, as I'm not giving up anything of mine.
Laura, gotta tell you, I've been in this business a long time. It doesn't sound like he's interested in anything anyone else here has. So before we get there, just don't. If I'm stepping on toes, just let me know. But kind of sounds like he wants you, and just you. So before we get there, I might think of a way to make him happy, because you said it doesn't sound like he's gonna be passive about you staying or going.
It's not whether he's going to be happy or mad, it's going to be whether he gets his way or not. And
Mhm. I'm just worried we're about to walk into a firefight. So,
no, it won't be a firefight with him.
well, that's okay. Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's fair. Do you want this ring back, or do I get to keep it?
I can take it back if I want. Keep it for now.
Okay, cool.
Besides, it'll come in handy.
All right, well, you go do your scouting and stuff. I'm gonna take a look at my arm.
Oh, I'm already done.
You are
Yeah.
so fast, and it's scary.
Comes with the trade.
Matt, can I roll some like Arcana checks? Like I'm trying to see if there's some kind of a secondary enchantment on my arm that I am unaware of. I'm trying to figure out what it does.
Yeah, you can roll me. Yeah, give me an Arcana check. Let's see.
Skills. I got a 9.
I mean, it is magical. It's hard to tell if there's an enchantment placed on this thing, or if it's just because it was created by one of the like major witches in this world that it's like innately a magical object. If that makes sense. The magical signature is registered to steel. And as far as you are aware, there is no contract associated with this item. So, it doesn't mean like you using it is somehow binding you to some sort of contract with steel. You think this is something that was given as a gift to you.
I still don't trust it, but I accept.
Okay. With a 9, that's all you get.
Yeah.
As you sort of finish looking over your arm here, Lork's just kind of sitting in the tree not too far from you, and sort of looks over and... So is this a common occurrence?
Losing limbs?
And grafting on new ones?
I wouldn't say common. I have never seen someone else do it.
Right.
Are you saying like have I done it before?
Yeah. How often does this happen to you?
Hmm. Once, twice a year, maybe.
Right.
Are you asking
long
like how
have you
many
been-
times I've come back?
Sure.
More than 30. Yeah, 30 feels right.
How much of you is original?
It's a complex question, Lorik. As far as I know, my personality has remained every time, so I'm gonna say all of me feels original.
Fair enough. Does it ever bother you?
Hmm. To tell you the truth, I haven't really thought of it much since the 8th or ninth time. You get kind of used to it.
Well, if you ever want something new, I just sort of nod down towards your ring.
You mean you're offering me part of your limbs?
No, the ring I gave you. It's magic.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm not sure if that will count as a sacrifice, but it's always good to have options.
Are you aware of what it does?
Max, the person, does. Artheus Marrow doesn't necessarily know
Aw.
yet. He hasn't really taken a look at it.
Well, first off, and in the middle of me saying first off, we changed places. And I sort of snap my head back towards the other direction to sort of look towards the back of your head, as you're now facing the wrong direction. We can both do that now.
Oh, that's fancy.
And together, should you not prefer any of your current appearances, you can choose another.
Marrow makes his hair go completely black.
It works as intended.
He's kind of like running his hands through his hair. Very nice.
It's a bit more than just cosmetic as well. So, experiment, find your limits.
Marrow is gonna go to like part of the tree and like keep messing with his giving himself different hairdos. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
No worries. As we're sitting there, Ava is awake. Neither of you guys are kind of enwrapped in conversation. Notice her right away, but she is watching this conversation. Ava, what would you like to do?
Think I just watching it, not trying to interrupt them. As you can see, like they're having a talk, but then as they switch places, she see her ears perk up. She's like in astoundment, and then them doing their hair changes, she kind of pipes up and goes, "What? The ring? What? Huh?" And she looks at the ring that's on her finger, like, "What? This
Told you it was going to be useful.
what does mine do?"
Want to experiment and find out?
She stares at it. Okay. And she stares at her hand. What do I
Yeah.
do?
Well, what do you try to do?
What does she try to do? I just woke up and just started watching y'all They say you change your hair. She stares at you. What can you do?
I can do a great number of things, and these simply enhance my abilities. First off, and I say first off, and we change places again.
Oh God.
You are looking the wrong direction again.
Oh.
All the rings can do that.
She just whips around. Oh, that's cool.
And if you want, I sort of nod over towards Seraph, who's napping on a nearby branch.
He points. I could call upon Seraph?
No.
Oh, dang.
Seraph, still mine,
Oh.
but should you need a tactical escape, you can change places with him as well.
As you say Seraph is yours, Seraph gives you a mean look.
I know, Seraph, we're partners, but yeah, you know what I mean.
That's cute. Oh. What else? What else? She kind of thinks for a second and she looks at him. You changed. Artheus can change. No, fucking Artheus.
It's Marrow.
Marrow. You started it.
But I didn't. It was someone else. Someone else did it.
Why?
Marrow. Marrow can change his hair color. Meaning that you can change your disguises.
Oh, he can do more than that.
Can I just... And she kind of looks at her hands that have grown darkened and black since she has been turning. And she wants to make them normal again.
So you attempt to change your appearance?
Yes.
Hmm.
I don't think it works.
Yeah, which ring did you give her?
I gave them the siphon ring index. I know what it does.
Yeah. It does not change the effect you see.
Okay. So what else
So
can
I'm
I
seeing
do?
the disappointment on your face. Each ring has different abilities. If you two want, I could swap them around, but
No. It's fine.
I often seem to be a familiar face for some of our, well, encounters.
That's okay. It'd still be come in handy to trade spaces, considering I can't really take a hit, as you've noticed.
Yes. Yours, Ava, is, well, a bit of a double-edged sword.
Well, why?
You've seen where I get some of my powers from the darkness, and you've seen how I can use some others through my own life force. Bit difficult to explain, but for a temporary pain, you can give yourself a greater defense and deal greater damage. I'm not quite certain how it'll look. I haven't used it myself.
Oh, hope it doesn't come down to that. I wouldn't want to hurt you just to protect myself.
Oh, Ava, it's not going to hurt me.
Oh! Is this Seraph?
Well, you can either try it now, get a feel for it, or save it for when you're really in danger. Either way, it's up to you.
Kind of looks at the ring, fiddles around with it, and just... No, I'm not that curious. I'll find out another time.
Right.
Thank you, though.
Just sort of give you a nod.
It's at this point you notice that Shiokaze is like awake, taking notes, writing in their notebook.
I sort of just turn to look and watch them write for a minute.
After they're done writing what they had been writing for the past couple seconds, they look up and meet your eyes, and they're like, they do a little toothless, and just kind of like wave, like, morning, just like awkwardly.
I don't respond immediately. I continue just looking at you.
They're gonna do the like, the more toothless, like, why is he staring at me? Why is he staring at me? Why is he staring at me? They're gonna clear their throat, and then go back to their book and start scribbling and still toothlessing from above the book, just like, is he still staring? Yep, he's still staring. Okay, he's still staring.
After a long silence, I just sort of speak bluntly. You were a surprise in the last fight. Thought you were sort of looking down the notebook holding, some sort of bookkeeper, librarian, lawmaker.
Before what did I even do last fight? I don't remember. What are you referencing?
Big spells, lots of damage, healing.
Oh my God.
Not the drama, not the professionals performance you had to put up.
Okay. Thank you. They're going to look up from their book, put their like quill. I was gonna say pen, but they probably don't have pens. A quill in the middle and slam the book shut and like stuff it in their cloak. Set up,
Just
or
a point of
something.
order. They do have pins. They're just font pins. They're not like regular, like ballpoint, modern day pens.
I need
you have
someone to
fill them.
invent this.
Like a fountain pen? Ah, yes.
Yeah.
So it'd be like the same thing as a quill almost. Just
Yeah. I mean, but you have ink in it already. Like there's a cartridge in it.
okay. Well then, the pen, they shove their pen in the middle, and just smack their book shut. Sit up, brush off their booty and their knees, and just like give a shrug. Just very not aloof, but like avoidant. Man, my turn.
Go ahead and tap your lands for that spell.
Lork simply shrugs and turns back around.
They sigh in relief, and just cautiously, I guess, like guards themselves, as they are now being like understood as they're being like observed by Lorik, and they're going to start to like figure out food.
As Shiokaze turns around, Diaphanous is like standing there, like looming over him, and just goes, "You're mute."
Shiokaze is gonna go.
He's like grabs your face and goes like, "I thought you were just an asshole."
Chris is gonna kind of pop her head up and be like, "You just now figured that out?"
Look, I've been very stressed recently.
Sorry.
Okay. Look, it's not entirely your fault. 80, 90, 90% your fault, but not entirely your fault.
Is it mine?
As you say 90, Seraph whacks you a little bit with his paw.
What? Like, he's like, why are you upset at me?
You tell him, Sarah.
So
Chris is just kind of like sitting back, like just watching this all go down. Just observing and being like, I think it's too early in the morning for this, but I'm gonna see how it plays out.
Wait a minute. I feel like I can fix this, sort of.
Are you saying it's 100% my fault then?
What?
Well,
No.
She starts to cry.
Kind of like little tears, like, I didn't know I was the problem. I'm sorry.
Do you want to talk, Ilukas?
Shiokaze kind of like their eyes widen a little bit and they nod their head furiously.
Oh, well then, give me just a moment. Marrow bends like crisscross applesauces, and then pulls out like a piece of paper, and then starts to like draw like runes with like a little paint pen. And he goes, "So what exactly is your full name?" Oh, wait, never mind. I'll just guess.
As you asked, they're like
All right, well, here we are. And he creates what looks to be like a it's like a red piece of paper with like a white piece of paper laid on top of it with like ink paint marks, and then begins to like fold it into a it looks like a piece of paper that's folded in onto itself, so it makes like it's like Mobius loop. And then he goes, "All right, now hold on to this end, and I'll hold on to this end." And then he pulls, and it burns, and he casts Rary's telepathic bond. So everybody can hear Ilukasa's thoughts.
oh. So as soon as that activates, just there is going to be a very loud, like bless you, cough, bless you. Anyways, overlapping of thoughts. You know how like the ADHD brain is like there's 30 things going all at once. Where it's like you're singing a song and then you're like thinking about this and then you're like, oh, I should probably do this, and like, oh no, I gotta do this, and then I gotta do this, and then I gotta do this, but then I should start on this first, and then just there's a lot of overlapping and a lot of just like confusion, and that's all you really hear, just like as if like 100 voices are talking at once.
Oh, whoa, hold your horses. Oh, he's like, he looks like he's in pain. Oh, okay, all right. One thing at a time.
Suddenly, suddenly, Davinus, I think you understand, almost in that instant, why Shiokaze might be mute. Like, you think that, like, if all of this planned out at all times, people would be, what's going on here?
All right. Okay, so first question. Are you mute because someone cursed you?
Just a resounding no.
Okay. Are you mute because someone doesn't want you to talk about something specific? and they realized you're a blabbermouth and just kiboshed the whole thing.
They laugh and they shake their head no. They can try to explain if you'd like them to.
Well, I mean, I feel like you have a lot of pent up energy here, so let's get it going.
So Ilukas claps and rubs their hands together like a little fly, and is like, and they clear their throat even though they're not speaking through their throat.
In your
They
Surprised you know how to make that sound.
They sit there for a while, kind of like figuring out exactly what words to use. They basically like hold their throat, and then they're like still waking up. Not everything wakes at the same time.
Oh my goodness.
I think he just performed a TPK.
Now.
400 dice rolling right there.
Oh gosh, please.
And their voice kills everybody. It's like,
You're that one Pokemon.
He'll cast Meteor Storm on accident.
That's what you get for asking 3 questions.
That's true. No more questions.
You guys are good. Sorry, I was making a drink and I forgot I had the wrong microphone on.
Ice clink 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 clink.
Ice or dice?
All right. Yes.
Why not both?
Why not both?
That's true.
Cut to the video of the cat crunching.
Crunch.
Oh god.
But yeah, you guys are good. I've also swapped my mic back. Hello, welcome. I probably sound a lot better on your stream.
Oh yes,
Oh.
absolutely.
Well, thanks. Silly cat.
Yeah, that one.
All right, but anyway, where were you here with us? You were...
I was explaining to Diaphanous that like some parts of me like are still asleep. Hence why.
God, I'm having all sorts of technical issues.
You good?
Do you need a moment, man?
I'm having a stroke. It's okay. Fuck me.
Oh god.
I'm gonna mute for a minute. Everybody, you guys are good. You know what? Yeah, it's fine. You look, guys, you got this.
Pretty steady.
Let us go.
Yay! About how some things wake up slower than others. And that just that's why they haven't been able to talk. So they're still like half asleep.
Well, that brings up so many more questions. What do you mean by asleep?
Is this above board or is this?
No, this is in game.
forecasting?
Yeah,
This is
we
more
can
just
all talk
interjecting on
between
this
each other.
conversation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Toothless. They clear
I'm
their
dying.
hypothetical throat again. They hold out their hands and go, Nanya? And they kind of laugh. They go, and then they wave their hand away, kind of just like it's too long of a story to explain.
Ava just puts her hands up and kind of puts them at like shoulder length and then squishes her hands together to say, make it shorter.
Or
I mean, we
just
have
your
an
resting
hour.
bitch face.
So
Two people suck at once. Max, go ahead.
I said, well, I mean, we have an hour. So
And then what did Lork say?
Oh, he just gave you a resting bitch face.
Or give you the evil eye.
And just like a stare, like explain now. They sigh. But like every time you notice that they sighed or like try to make a noise with their vocal cords or their throat, no sound comes out. So it's just like they make the sighing face, but no sound comes out.
Shoulders droop.
Yeah. um. How much do I want to say? They they explain that like let me pull up my whole document for
Backstory.
backstory.
There's quite a lot of it. We did sit and call for like a good 3 or 4 hours when we wrote all this stuff a long time ago.
Yeah. Is this the right one?
Control
Yeah.
F.
Okay.
Control F.
All right. I forgot I wrote to you in this. Okay. So they go, you want short story, right? Or long story?
We'll be on the road for a while.
Start it.
Well, then we should get, walking, and we'll walk and talk, walk and think, whatever.
Walk and think. Don't we walk and think at the same time? Already?
Well, it's because they're talking through my head.
It's hard for some of us.
I don't have that spell memorized.
Yeah.
The multitasking on month 6 screwed is great.
Well, we've got. How long does?
Do we
spell last,
also-
Mara?
How?
Mara, how long does the spell last?
1
An
hour.
hour.
Well, we got an hour, so.
And then Carissa, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna be a smartass and ask if can we also hear whatever song is stuck in Ecolas's head, just quietly playing in the background?
Bow, chicka, bow.
Yes.
Now we can, yes.
We find like a bard core of another song.
So, currently, very softly in the background is Carmel dancing.
Just with lutes. Pan flutes. Lutes and pan flutes.
Yeah, but with medieval.
Laura slowly comes to think that
Instruments.
maybe his father was correct.
And now I have that stuck in my head in real life. Okay. Hold on, I gotta put that to the side, or else I can't think. Okay. So they are kind of like, well, let's get moving. Let's get going, and I guess we can chat while we walk.
All right. Or stands up,
so-
slides down the tree.
Yeah, in the interest of you guys being 9th level adventurers, I'm not going to make Max cast another spell to keep you topped up with this. We're just going to say that Diaphanous is basically focusing on this for a lot longer than mages typically do for a piece of spellcraft. So he's just applying active effort to keep this bond up for you. But when he goes to cast another spell or something like that, he will dispel this effect. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I guess
Yeah.
we're walking
Are-
down.
Miro is holding the Mobius loop, and it's burning within a floating orb.
Yeah. The other thing is, Carissa is awake. Carissa did wake up during this like kind of interaction.
She's just been like quietly, like she's just been kind of observing.
Yeah.
Kind of just watching what's going on. She's still trying to figure out. She's still trying to dissect what she has learned. I'll say that. So she's like half paying attention to the conversation,
excuse
half
me.
not. Like she like zones in for some beats for a little bit, and then you just kind of see her. If you're like paying attention, she kind of like zones out, and then tries to catch up in the conversation, and then zones out again. So she's very absent-minded this morning. I'll say that.
Fair enough.
Lark doesn't notice.
Typical.
Rolled a 3 on my insight.
That's true.
Oh.
Literally, I just rolled it to see if I would take any interest. I don't notice.
Nope. Ain't seen.
Not noticing shit. You're in your own world.
I'm thinking about my dad.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Are we walking?
Yeah, you guys can easily like break down camp and go ahead and begin walking. I just wanted to give Chris a chance to interject before we just smash cut away from you guys at camp.
All good.
As you guys get ready to go down the tree, Lark stops each of you.
Mm. What?
It just sort of looks at you guys knowingly. Like, come on.
Toothless.
Are you talking
He
about?
raises his left hand, points towards it.
Oh. Is Sarah already down there?
I tell you guys nothing.
Gonna look at the ring. Gonna
Taps the ring with a finger.
gonna do the thing.
Okay, but we have to exchange. It's an exchange.
Yes. You can
You,
exchange with
as-
either myself or Seraph.
Yeah, as you point at the ring, Ava disappears and Seraph appears in Ava's place.
Thank you. All right. I swap places with Seraph. I look whoever's next in line, wave my arms towards Seraph.
Waves up at them.
I'll go next.
All right.
You swap places.
In order of operations, I am changing places back and forth so we can get everybody down the tree. So
Yeah.
everybody is forced to use the new
Teleport
thing.
away.
Anybody who doesn't, I will go back up the tree and teleport them back.
You're coming down now.
Illica's half off of a branch trying to climb down.
Ends up back at the top of the tree. Fuck.
Hi,
Toya, you stay here.
Gigi.
Crosses her
Yes, I'm
arms.
doing well. We are playing some
Howdy.
D&D.
And they finally use it.
Cross
Step
my
or
arms,
what?
tap my finger and my foot at the same time.
I'm weak.
You guys eventually arrive, everybody at the bottom of the tree here, and you guys begin to walk through the woods.
Okay. So I
Occasionally,
guess-
you guys hear, occasionally you guys hear the sounds of like creatures and stuff stirring, or occasionally like the sound of critters flittering and fluttering underneath the different undergrowth. Above, you hear birds kind of jumping and flying between tree branch to tree branch, branches shaking, leaves blowing. These trees are huge, like gigantic trees. Some of these look to be yeah. Some of these look to be very, very, very good. In the sense that, like, maybe you are the first people to walk past some of these trees in months, if not years, if not further. Yeah. Do with that as you will, as you guys venture through.
Lark attempts to be perceptive, and I choose to fail.
Oh my god.
You choose to fail.
Hell.
What?
Aw.
Oh.
But Lork looks like he's being perceptive to the rest of you guys. And he's trying to be perceptive. He's just not doing a good job.
Yeah.
Alright,
Shame.
Well, I guess as they're walking, Ilukos talks with their hands as well. I will let anybody start with what they want to say or do, because I don't want to like take over the entire session talking.
Lork looks at you. I'm waiting.
So nobody wants to do anything.
No one's gonna
Lork wants to
bail
hear
you.
your story.
Gabe was also
Okay.
just staring at you, pointing at
You
your
told you
throat,
said it
pointing at
was
your
you
throat.
said it was a long story. We're all captivated.
Mhm.
Uh,
Points at your
They,
throat, points at my throat, points at your throat.
they
Luke's
Chris
face,
is
magical
also, like,
swordsman. Tell me
Chris
what
is
happened.
half paying attention.
they face palm and they're like, okay, fine. They're still gonna put it kind of as short as they can because they don't want to give out so much information. Because that's dangerous in this world.
Tell me about it.
As they're walking, Ilokos is, like taking their time, kind of distracted, looking at things. Just like they're like, oh yeah, oh, what's that? And they just kind of like
Back on topic.
Snap, snap, snap.
jingle, jingle, jingle. I said your favorite word.
I shake Seraph in front of you.
Can I hold Seraph?
You can hold Seraph.
Okay, so they're gonna hold Seraph, and then they're just kind of pet Seraph as they're talking. Basically, okay. So, I don't know. Can I do it in first person? I guess.
Yes.
Okay. I've done a lot of like third person because I don't know how to RP.
You can speak through your character's voice. We didn't deny you that, so you're
Yeah.
fully allowed to start doing that whenever you'd like.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, while Dak finds that voice, just a quick point of order. If anybody wanted to be held by Ilokos, now would be the time.
Held?
Oh,
By
Held by
Because Ilokos is carrying Seraph, which means if you swap places with Seraph, you would be in
Oh.
Ilokos.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I think.
That's true.
What's your strength, Ilokos?
Wait, what?
What's your strength?
My strength? Oh,
Yes.
you can probably carry Ava.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
was gonna say. I
God.
think I'm probably the lightest one, smallest and
my
lightest.
strength is 11.
Oh yeah, you could definitely pick me up. Pick me up.
Sorry, that was just a side point. But yeah.
You're good. Just like they're like kind of they're petting Seraph and like rubbing their cheek against Seraph. They enjoy El Gato. Is anybody swapping right now?
No.
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 Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna allow that to happen. I just wanted to point out that it'd
Right.
be very funny if
We
somebody had
switch
that
places,
moment.
and you actually are petting me.
And it's like,
No.
stop. Okay. So, okay, I guess I'm gonna speak through Ilokos.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
this is interesting.
He.
Okay. Where do I even start?
So where are you
From
from?
the beginning, probably.
Well, it all started when I was created.
Created.
Now, remember, there are parts of this you're not allowed to talk about. Do you
oh,
have those written down?
I think so, but I didn't write that I was not able to talk about it.
You can talk about most. anytime the stuff about I'm gonna send you a list of a
Yes.
couple of words that you literally can't say,
Okay.
and then a couple of other things after that.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. I was like.
Um,
Well, I guess I have to wait.
what do you mean?
I have to wait for your list.
Oh, you can start. I will just kind of go through those two big things. You cannot like
Oh.
drop them. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Hold on.
Well, as we're taking a pause, hey Max, can Ezekiel be in your antlers right now?
You can be.
Yay, okay. There we go. There you go, Nox.
Oh yeah.
So as Ecolas is like gearing up to tell the story, like whoever pays attention, like Carissa like rummages in her bag for something, and she pulls out a little box, and you guys just like, she's probably walking a little bit behind you guys. You just see a hand kind of like sandwiched between you two, and there's just a little like box of chocolates that just appears.
Dork takes one.
Chocolates?
I knew Lork would take one.
I smell.
Lork knows.
That's right. I saw the box and I immediately yoinked one as fast as humanly possible.
Peaks. What kind of chocolates
Let
you
me
got there,
see.
Carissa?
So there's
I eat it
four.
instantly.
You must.
So there's 4 chocolates. Lork immediately grabs one. So there's 3 left.
With food in his mouth, Laura goes, you snooze, you lose.
No, one for everyone. I like pull the box like back, like the box
Oh, is this the
disappears.
chocolate
Lork
box?
reaches for another one. Yeah,
Ava reaches up to
Lork
it.
immediately jumped on it.
Shiokaze is just gonna kind of look at the box and go like, "What is that?"
Chocolate. Do you want one?
And they look at it, and then they look at Lorik. It's for eating.
I give you the the worst shit-eating grin. I give you a thumbs up as I'm chewing the chocolate.
Oh, okay, okay. They like hesitantly reach out their hands, and grab one. Thank you. They like sniff it, like, and then they like put their tongue on it, kind of like tasting it.
Eat the chocolate, Shiokaze, Ava says. It's
Yeah, before I do.
Chris is not going to poison you.
We don't have to add the Ava says part, by the way. You guys can just RP. It's totally fine.
I'm just making sure Shiokaze
I
will
have
know
a
it's
hard
me.
time deciphering between like character speaking and then like person speaking. That's why.
So, how we'll do this going forward, if you have something to say above board, you need to put above board before the thing you say.
Ah, okay.
Makes
that's
sense?
why I was
Otherwise,
saying that.
if you say it out loud and you didn't say above board beforehand, that's on you.
Duly noted.
Mhm, mhm.
I'm gonna look at you and go eat the chocolate. Shiokaze, you are freaking me out. Have you not had sweets before?
They kind of give a sheepish smile.
You are missing out so much. There's ice
They
cream.
take a
There's cakes and brownies and sweets. Oh, crumpets. Oh my goodness, my mother made so many sweets. Oh, you would have loved it. Lemon bars, cookies. Ooh, it's good.
You know
Eat
what,
the
Ava?
chocolate.
Let's
Hi.
go to your house instead of mine, right? My dad hates sweets.
And that's gonna be a hard thing to do.
Ava, can you eat chocolate? I thought that birds couldn't eat chocolate.
You know, that
Magic
explains
bird.
why my stomach hurts after I eat it. I did not put 2 and 2 together. Oh well. Plops the chocolate in her mouth. Why does it be so delicious, but it hurts me? Who knows? Just don't give any to
they're
Yusuko.
gonna take a small bite.
Okay. I have established the rules for Dak's conversation here. Hey, Dak wanted to play a complicated character, and we did it, okay?
Iluka's gonna take a small bite, and they're gonna be like, It's like giving a small Victorian child like a Dorito. Like they're like,
Roll me a D100, Ilukas.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
Oh no.
It was like / roll D100.
1D100.
1D100.
That Ratatouille gif.
A 30.
Oh.
A dirty 30. Give me 1 second. As you bite into this chocolate, you get the subtle taste of bourbon before a sweet, rich vanilla, followed by a palate of graham cracker.
They're gonna like chew it, and they're like squinting, kind of like, what the fuck? They finish their bite and like smack their mouth, and then just hand it over to Lorik. It's like, I don't want it anymore.
Is it too much? Did you not like it?
Yes. It's a lot of flavor.
Yes.
Once different.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I should have warned you about that, but they're magical chocolates, so they usually, if whatever we eat out of the box will come back the next morning. So maybe we'll find one that you like.
Okay. And they're still holding out the chocolate towards Lorik. Like, please take it.
Well, you say so. Take her hand just straight into the mouth.
Like, like wipe their hand on their cloak. Like,
I'm just smacking my lips.
they have a new like, oh, okay. So he does that. New view on Lorik. Like, oh.
New character trait unlocked.
Yeah.
Right?
Ilukas will remember this. Like.
Yeah.
So speaking as Ilukas. Okay, hold on. I gotta look at my rules real quick. Okay.
You're good.
Okay. So they go back to the joking. It all started when I was created. You know, little joke that everybody says for psychiatrists. Anyways, and they're like, well, I had to speak through myself. Hold on. Speak through yourself. Okay. I have been around a long time. And well, and they're just like obviously very nervous about talking about this because they're like they've never really had to say anything to people. People just kind of, you can tell them. Okay. How long did we make it again?
Can you quantify a long time? 100 years, 1,000 years?
They do like the 4,000.
Huh?
Or stops chewing.
Stares at you.
Chris's eyes go wide.
4,000.
This doesn't even like miss a beat. He's just like, okay, and
4,001 maybe.
Okay.
Because they're counting this year. they kind of laugh, but
Damn, you're old.
And so, who created you?
it's like, I'm 53, I'm 57. Damn.
Yeah, basically. Like, oh, I'm sorry.
Where did the years go, man?
Oh my god, you're young and shit. they laugh. Just it's yes, I'm old. Okay, I know I don't look it, and they kind of like flip their hair a little bit.
Absolutely. No.
But I have looked like this always.
So, who created you?
Do you remember?
Yes.
You can remember that long? Is that what you write in the notebook?
Yes. There's a reason why. I spend most of my time asleep. I know who created me, but I cannot say.
Mm.
It was a god, but you know I can't say.
Can we ask you questions?
Lork sort of face palms for a second. Are they dead?
It's,
Your creator, are they dead? Are they alive still? Way out there?
Man, I need some backup.
I thought he asked if you were dead, and I was going to be very confused.
They just kind of make the like a shrug, like a I don't know.
That doesn't narrow it down at all.
Oh. If we guess the god that created you, can you tell us yes or no?
They nod.
That's a lot of gods, though, isn't it, Dia?
I mean, there's like what? 400?
Pulls out a list. All right, what about
You
this one?
can
Nope,
name
this one?
400
Nope, this one?
gods?
Nope.
Well, I mean, the god I'm immediately thinking of is Mistra.
Is this
Like he goes like, well, the god I'm thinking of is Mistra, and he looks over at you like,
Like-
question mark?
Looks at you, looks at her, them, looks at them.
I'm just imagining the TikTok where it's like trying to figure out the political stance of like,
Oh,
you know, I like rights.
and so do you?
Okay.
So,
Yes.
is it Mistra or is it who everyone? Let me rephrase that.
Ooh, the night one, the shade,
Midnight is the current Mistra, so
yeah, is it midnight? It's got to be Mr. Midnight. I got a good feeling about this.
Well, you hit that one on the head. Yeah. Yes. It was Mistra.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, but
He
which
picks up a
one?
rock and throws it into the woods.
Uh,
the first or the second one?
the OG.
Okay.
Huh.
So she created me very long time ago.
To do what?
Notes. See if I can talk about it.
Do you just have
okay.
like things above board that says can talk about?
Yeah, basically that is what I have. So I'm like,
Just a flow chart. Yeah.
yeah. I'm like,
Yes, no.
I'm losing my
no.
place.
It's like a Venn diagram. It's like I can talk about this, I can't talk about this, I can sort of talk about this.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of can sort of talk about something when I'm like, okay. Oh jeez.
You can talk about this.
Okay. I was created to keep balance in the magical world. And they kind of like flutter their hands at the magical world.
I don't mean to be rude, but you're failing right now, aren't you?
Why do you think I'm awake?
Fair enough.
So you sleep if you did keep the balance, and you're awake when it's not balanced?
Simply put, yes. Yeah, I am awakened when I am needed.
Mm.
Were you awoken because of the shifting of the oracle?
Yes.
I love when you know.
I looked over to my
I love
Discord.
the pause and just like the furious typing.
I would have been like, I said, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Like,
It's like shaking a magic 8-ball.
And confirm for me, Shiokaze, is the Oracle just the catalyst for greater events, or the Oracle specifically?
I guess
So
it's a
what?
culmination.
So, are you like Mistra's champion? Is that the vibe?
Wait a minute.
No.
So you don't embody Mistra, but you work for Mistra.
I serve her and I do her will.
But you're not an individual beforehand. You were created for this purpose. Yeah, so you're a construct.
I have been created, correct.
When was what happened the last time that you were, I guess, awoken?
None of your business. I can't talk about it.
And kind of just shrugs. I don't know.
So Diaphanous is suddenly like, oh my god, this is the best game I've played all day.
A million questions.
One questions on crack.
Wait, can you not answer that question to me specifically, or can you not answer that question in general?
In general.
Okay.
Okay. So events took place last time you were awake. You can't talk about them, but they were in association with Mistra's keeping of balance plan.
Yeah.
Ah. Can I roll a history check?
Sure.
Oh, shit.
Okay. But first I want to ask one more question. About how long ago were you awake last time?
Man.
It was about 1,000 years ago.
1,000 years ago. Okay.
Also, to answer your question, I haven't had sweets because I've always been working.
That should
Not
not
wrong.
deprive you from eating any delights.
Diaphanous has. Oh, I'm sorry, Crystal. Say what you were saying.
No, it's okay. I already said it was like that shouldn't deprive you from taking a treat.
And anybody can't cast enhance ability because I have a 0 for history.
Oh my god.
I'm busy all the time. I've never felt closer to Shiokaze in my life.
I have proficiency.
All right, I'm gonna roll.
But I can't.
wait.
because I
I can give you the help action.
Okay.
Oh, I was
Here
gonna
we
say
go.
enhance your ability too. Can I do that?
If
Yes.
you'd like to enhance his ability, you can.
So would this just be at advantage? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
And then the enhance ability, you touch a creature.
Yeah, I just touch your hand.
Boop.
Yeah, just touch. Here you go. Looks like you're struggling, buddy.
You got this. You'll get it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's sweet.
You ain't got shit, man.
Carissa's help is just so. Think back. What happened 1,000? Let's think about what happened 1,000 years ago.
Let's think about what happened.
That's on y'all. She points at everyone. I'm barely 18. Actual years.
I'm only 84. I don't know anything.
I
What?
don't believe that.
I also don't believe that.
Anything.
I'm a little past 100.
I. Mm-hmm. No one.
I'm settling something. Hold on.
Okay.
We all just sit there and start contemplating our own ages.
Oh no, Matt. I'm saying I already used it.
How old are you,
Mm.
Carissa?
I'm telling you. I'm asking you a separate question. Just answer my question, yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. Your mechanical arm begins to whir.
What?
Stare.
Just like
Diaphanous is looking at his arm. He's like, "Holy shit!"
what's it doing?
Is it supposed to do that?
I don't know.
What'd
What-
you do?
I don't know.
What? Huh?
I'm 85% sure this is gonna explode and kill us all.
85? Where's the
Starts
other
backing away slowly.
15%?
I send Seraph 60 feet one direction and then swap the two of them.
Okay, so what happens, Matt?
I mean, if you'd like to, you may cast that.
Okay, so the arm kind of like begins to like open up, and then runes start to glow inside the arm, and like a dome kind of appears around us, and it's almost like it's a recording. It begins to play. Like holographic images begin to appear around us. I'm casting Legend Lore.
Ooh,
Whoa.
that sounds cool.
Diaphanous is like closing his eyes, like just waiting to die.
Diaphanous, you feel that you now owe a favor to Steve.
Ooh.
Damn.
Oh boy.
So, what do we see?
You cast Legend Lore. Shiokaze. There are a lot of things you can't talk about. However, if there is anything about you that is to be known, this spell will make it known, because you are the target of this spell. So we get a quick vision of a goddess, golden laurel, her eyes as pearlescent and shining as the stars of the night sky. And here she is in the ruination of a place that has been destroyed by magic. As she cast this simple spell to put a creature together for the base purpose of walking this land and protecting that of which she created, magic. To you, she offers you a stone, an object you have all seen in Shiokaze's possession. She does not utter a single word to Shiokaze. Shiokaze takes the stone and walks away. We then zoom forward in time. A conflict erupting on a small continent far, far away from here, where it seems as though mages are unhappy with the way that magic now works and have attempted to do something foul. Shiokaze, what do you do to these mages?
Let me look at it. Ugh.
You can make something up.
Let me look at my notes. We wrote about this, right? Is that?
No, this is different stuff. This is legend lore. They learn
Okay.
everything there is to know about it.
Okay. So Shiokaze is well, okay, speaking as myself. Okay. You all see Shiokaze kind of in the background watching all of these mages bicker and like argue, and some are throwing spells here and there because they're like all angry. Not like fireball or anything, but like sparks or like little flames coming out of their fingers due to their emotions. You see Shiokaze just kind of stand and just like wave their hand over the room and just kind of like put a like a psychic pressure over everybody to like calm down using calm emotions, and they try and like reason with everybody about like, you know, well, this is how it works, you know, suck it up, deal with it. If you don't like it, change it. If you try and change it, then, you know, there'll be consequences. You see that they are not.
Yeah, as you begin to say these things to the wizards, some of them look at you with disgust. One of the
Yes.
older gentlemen sitting in this room, he's an archmage just by his appearance alone. You can see he has these runes drawn all over his robes. He looks at you, and you see he speaks very softly. Are you to tell me these spells cannot be cast anymore? A whole section of our library rendered useless by these new rules of which you govern?
Yes. It just, you can't do that anymore. It's not.
And who are you to tell me otherwise? I see no age about you. Just that you claim to have knowledge and power.
Shiokaze just, they have like a hint of like anger in their eyes, and they rip off their cloak in like one fell swoop, and then just they sprout their wings very widely, and as they do, they kind of give like a glow, and once they do that, their eyes will also glow, and whenever they speak now, they will have like a little bit of a rumble or a I guess bass about their voice. So it's like the very air kind of vibrates. And they say, give me a sec, let me try and word this. I may not seem old, but I know far more, and I've experienced far more than you ever have and ever will.
The old man looks at you. Are you claiming that you are more wise than every wizard who sits upon this council? The 7 archmages of the Sept? Is that your claim?
They're gonna look with spite and go, even combined.
Well, I see that someone was in a joking mood today. You see he begins to stand up. And he begins to walk down like the dais. And as he walks by you, he spits at your feet and walks out.
Sorry.
Ooh.
Hold on. I have to type.
And we're not we're seeing this above board, right? Like we're just watching the
Yes.
second movie.
You guys are,
Check it.
yes, you guys are seeing
Oh
this.
yeah, definitely. Ava does say that underneath her breath. That bitch.
Orc shushes you. Shh.
Sorry, it's getting good. As the old fart walks by me after spitting at my feet, you just see like a small smirk, and you see that he just bursts in flames and dies.
He burns to death in the middle of the room. He erupts into flames. You see that this is a powerful wizard, rendered asunder by a spell he had no chance to defend against. And the charred husk remains on the floor, burned so hot that only his shadow remains in the stone of this chamber. The rest of the wizards just look at you.
Yeah. I'm just gonna look back at them and just go, anyone else? Have any complaints?
They all put their head down. And we've moved Fade from this scene. We find you in the woods, and you find a tree. There seems to be a magic scene to this tree. You reach your hand and begin to peel away the bark as if you're opening a door. And inside, sitting on a pedestal, is a green stone, a gem. It looks as though it has the vibrance of the woods and the greenery and the trees of this world reflected in its panes as you pick it up and begin to inspect it. This is one of the 7 gemstones that you have in your collection. As you begin to head from here, we see you sailing on a boat across the world. Deep at sea, you fight a giant sea monster. You sunder the creature with spells only people could even dream to imagine to cast. As you strike this creature with lightning and all sorts of manner of heavenly lights and bedazzling effects, the creature is disintegrated by the amount of magic thrown in its direction. And from its disintegrated corpse falls a blue stone, one that you take and collect. We see a vision of several other stones of this nature. One is a red ruby retrieved from the very fires of hell. This stone has been stolen from you by someone you are unsure deserves to have the stone in their possession. A man of deceit, a man of lies. And he has taken it to a place you cannot follow. You see a crystalline gemstone, one that reflects the faces of the living. You could gaze into this stone and see any person alive, should you choose to witness that event. You set this stone in its pedestal as you begin to head to go collect your next item. After you have collected the last stone, the 7th stone, we skipped a couple, but the other ones are not as important as this one. It is a obsidian glass, opulent, like looking gem. And in it, black smoke filters through it as if you are looking into something that is filled with roiling smoke that could choke the world. And you gently set this into a pedestal in this place. And as you do, the astrolabe above you begins to spin and whir. You have completed your purpose this time around. You head to bed. You return to your chamber where you fall asleep and do not awake for another couple millennia. 2,000 years ago, you awake. You are summoned to a council where, once again, 7 wizards have been assembled in a far-off continent on a part of the world, somewhere out of the way. And as you arrive here, you walk into the chamber to see that 6 of these wizards are the same. A burnt shadow into the ground in this place, and a young gnomish man sits at the head of this table. As you enter, the wizards look to you with no other counsel but themselves within the chamber. None of them speak to you, only gaze. The only person who does not make eye contact with you is the gnomish man who sits at the head of the table.
Oh, sorry. I nod at the 6 that I remember. And question the gnome. So, you're new.
Naturally. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm here to counsel.
Are you here about the temporal gateways? I assure you they are rudimentary constructions. Nothing for you to be concerned about.
You see, that's where I think you're wrong.
Well, it's always fine for people to have creative differences.
They give a small, like, smile, but it's, like, forced. Of course. I would have definitely made them look a bit, more grand, but, artistic differences. They, need to come down.
Yeah, they will eventually when the wind eventually erodes them or the seas swallow them or whatever, but until such time they'll remain. As far as I see it, you don't really have any sway unless you have a purpose in this world. At this moment, I think magic's perfectly fine the way it is. You set some ground rules and it doesn't seem that anybody's broken them. So why are you here?
Is that...
Hello.
Oh, it's a lie.
Welcome.
Above board.
Very much so.
Yeah. See,
Thank you for the hug.
that's not how it works.
Try not to
I wake up.
interrupt.
I am here. I am summoned because it is out of balance. So, you're wrong. Okay? You're wrong.
Agree to
So-
disagree.
Anyways, I did not ask. I am saying, and I am telling. They need to come down.
Just as I remember stating only moments ago, perhaps you are deaf or dumb. The towers will go when they are withered by the world in which they inhabit. But as far as me removing them or any other, cannot be done. They are here to stay, unfortunately, as much as that may make you unhappy.
Hold on. Potty break for y'all as I figure this out.
Oakley dokley.
Nessa. My jeez. Jeez.
Yeah, see, that I think is more accurate for what her face is, or what his face is.
No, Nessa. Sorry, Nessa's trying to eat my cheese.
Yes, both of those are very accurate to Shiokaze's face.
Fuck.
You see, as this moment continues, the gnome looks at you and smiles with a slight grin of someone who is run you in circles after being told that you were some fearless, monster of a person that he should fear. And he looks at you and kind of pities you, as if you don't understand something, you lack knowledge.
I was asleep for 2,000 years, so. Or a while. Whatever.
Well, as you can see, Shiokaze, from the assembled council here, there are only 7 seats within this room. And you currently don't occupy any of them. So, off you go. I guess we'll see you in another 1,000 years.
Okay. Shiokaze just kind of takes a deep breath and just kind of like you know what? Fine. They give a small smile, and they nod to the other 6, looking down at the gnome, literally and figuratively, because he's a small man. And they turn around and walk away. And as they walk out the door, they slam them shut. But whenever they get slammed shut, they like break and disintegrate.
Yeah.
So there's no longer a door.
As you're leaving from this place, you see, happy with the fact that you've decided to just leave, he looks at the others and begins going, now, as I was saying before we were rudely interrupted, I have been working on a couple of projects in the world. One, the temporal gateways, which should allow us to separate that of which we are most concerned. Second of all, I have been working on retrieving some of our lost knowledge from the library, and I think I may have found a way to cast some of our old spells. Additionally, I have someone within the world in which I am closely associated with, a demigod, if you will, helping me find our first chosen location to test out this new effect of magic. And they all applaud. You see, he goes, as I promised, a return to the good things. And we move away from this scene. We cut to Shiokaze walking across a desert. In the distance, an obsidian tower. Shiokaze tries with all of their might and their magical ability to destroy this thing and cannot. It simply absorbs the magic that is thrown at it. It does not even reflect, crack, or seem to mind being struck with arcane ability. We fast forward again, another 1,000 years pass. Shiokaze is at some sort of courthouse? A man sits in this room only one person in this group would recognize. A young counselor, before he was a lawyer, and then chief advocate. Kyle, would you like to describe your dad to everyone here?
Oh boy. Gosh, what would be a good description for him? Well, he very clearly takes, or Lorik very clearly takes after his father in a lot of ways. Same sort of facial structure, sort of longer nose, the widow's peak in his hair here. But his father, well, even young in his age, has gone through a great many things and steeled himself for what needs to be done for a young counselor. He's gone through his hardships. He's fought for his position. So, though he might not appear his older age, the seriousness that sets upon his face, the conviction, is easy for all to see. For an elf, it's surprising to see he has already begun the process of aging long before, well, one truly should, purely from stress and overwork alone, as his sort of black hair slowly is fading, but not yet turned to gray. You see he has lines, the creases of his eyes, and his jaw is firm and stern from just decades of holding his jaw tight. And he appears, though hesitant, ready to make his move on the stage.
You see that in the room, not only is there this young elf who looks hungry, as if somebody watching other people eat their food, knowing that he is also wanting a slice. You see in this room there are a number of generationally spread elves. Some that are ancient, and some that are younger than his dad, and some that are about his age. You see they're all sitting in like what is to be like a bleachers section of a giant courtroom. And there are a couple other people in this room. An slightly aged gnome wearing very superficial looking robes, sitting at a table, who's holding what looks to be a very large bound book with leather and things. You see that sitting next to him is a king of some sort. He's crowned, he's wearing his royal regalia. He's even got armor on for some reason at this meeting. And he's got a sword strapped to his side. You see sitting at the table next to him, a young-looking Steel. A woman dressed in gold plate, with long, flowing red hair. She hasn't yet seems to be pretty mundane looking, as if she's just a person. Not magical. She doesn't have any sort of unique holding over the world. But she sits at this table nonetheless, sitting next to this young gnome and this other king. Together they sit and they stare into the courtroom. Across from these two, there is another group of individuals. What looks to be she's middle-aged elven woman wearing what is a beautiful golden dress. Carissa, would you like to describe your mom for the people in this room?
Sure. Give me 1 second. So from what you can tell, my mother, as she sits there, she may, at a quick glance, just look like she's sitting in the room waiting, just politely waiting. But if you watch her, you notice that she is watching every other person's move and what they say with a very calculated eye. You get the sense that nothing gets past her that she, wants to see. She has this air of almost, she's an air around her that almost commands respect, as well. So she seems like a very powerful person in terms of being able to hold her own in a conversation, not necessarily in a fighting sense at this point, but in a very, you get the sense that she can be a very powerful diplomat if needed. So you can tell that she looks very similar to Carissa. Their eyes are the same. They have the same kind of mouth. Their hair is pretty similar. So you can definitely right off the bat see that you can see that Carissa's her daughter.
As we look at this woman, she wears no armor. She wears simply a flowing gown that looks to be sewn with such precision that even light may not be able to pass through some of these garments. You see that she sits at this table wearing a ring, a golden ring around her hand. And atop her head is what looks to be a diadem that we may have seen earlier in this story. Also, this person is who Shiokaze is standing directly behind. This woman sits at a table alone in this chamber. It seems that others are always surrounded by people. This woman sits at this chair by herself, and her attendants stand behind her. Shiokaze being one of them. The second of which being a person dressed in clothing similar to that of the stranger. The mask is different, still made of ivory. However, the expression on the mask is not one of a blank nature. It is one with eyes that are cut in such a way that somebody wearing this mask will have very good vision. And there is a part of the mask that does not cover their mouth. This person is allowed to speak with this mask on, without it obscuring their face to that extent. The robes they wear are all black. And this person seems to every now and then lean in and whisper something to the woman sitting at this table. In addition, there is one third table. In this room, there is an elvish man with a handprint on his face that is of a black, it almost looks like it was scarred into him. And it's wrapped over the right side of his face, as if somebody grabbed onto him and reached with the palm of their hand over his mouth and his nose, and placed the index finger right above the top of his right eye, his middle finger onto his temple, and then the other two fingers wrap around the side of his cheek the pinky touching the bottom of your earlobe, and the thumb caressing the inside of the nose upwards on his face. Besides that, he is beautiful. But this man is elven. He looks to be quite young. And he sits in this courtroom, surrounded on both sides by no one particularly interesting, but there is an elemental kind of creature that sits next to him. They look to be made of stone. And then, in addition to that, there is a young tiefling woman who sits next to him on the other side, as he sits at this table. You see they presenting evidence in this courtroom, and they begin making some arguments. The gnome in the middle of the room speaks up and goes, "The gateways are not any of your concern. They simply keep with the will of the gods. Who cares whether or not they're all over the place? And besides, you guys didn't care about them for the last 1,000 years. What does it make a difference now?" Carissa's mom speaks up and gestures to an idea. "Well, perhaps, maybe, we did not have time to analyze the detriments that such eyesores would bring to a landscape, or the magic that surrounds them. For goodness gracious, get a grip, woman. Just because you sit in some fancy elven isle on the far end of the world, I haven't put any on your place. You should be thankful. We would not allow you to sully our lands with such a creation. And if I did, what would you do about it?" She gives him a glance as if she would kill him right here for even suggesting the idea. He goes, temper, relax. As I said before, we have no intention of placing these eyesores, as you've quoted them, in your home. It wouldn't work anyway. She goes, Your Honor, we're looking to see that this tribunal answer for the crimes that have been committed here. And you see that an older elf in the audience speaks up and says, "We've conducted a rudimentary investigation of our people. We have found no such evidence that any sort of ritual has taken place." The elf at the far table with the face tattoo erupts into laughter. "No such evidence? A magical island randomly appears in your world, and you think there's no evidence that this ritual took place? For goodness sake, don't..." For someone who seems to be trying to parade themselves as a bastion of truth, anyone in this room could see you're telling a lie. The old man looks over at Lorik's father and says, he conducted the searches himself. If any such ritual had been committed, we would know about it. Isn't that right? Your father pipes up and goes, "Undoubtedly so. Any sort of ritualistic content has been banned in this country for many, many millennia at this point. We would not have allowed a convening of such a large number of elves, even if we wanted it." You see that commotion erupts in the room, and you see that the man who piped up and called this main magistrate a liar then pipes up and says, "Well, perhaps everyone in this room would just be willing to sign our deal and it would be over." You see that Everett looks over, he looks around and begins looking at all the people in this room. And as the man suggests signing this contract, he looks over and says, "I've read through your document, all the many, many pages of it," as he slaps the book in front of him and says, "I have to tell you, I don't necessarily think that this contract should be, in its large volume, ushered in, signed without any sort of legislation or, ability to amend it." He goes, "Why would we need to amend it? It covers all the clauses of magic in this world. It firmly establishes all the things." Everin then goes, "Right, except one. Who then stewards magic?" if we are going to come to a conclusion about these things, the elves will sign away their ability to perform elven magic by contract, by law. I will stop placing these rudimentary tablets of obsidian around the world in hopes that maybe this will slow the magic degeneration that is caused by a group of elves trying to cast a large spell and it backfiring, creating the largest desert anyone has ever seen. The king here is furious. It was good grassland, and I don't understand why anybody here doesn't... And you see that Everin looks over and goes, that's quite enough. I think they understand the situation in your kingdom. You see that he looks over and he says, what we need are stewards, people who can take care of this, in exchange for that man over there in the toting robes, as he points over at Shiokaze. I suggest that we usher in an age of magical advocates. All of you are lawyers. And you see that the man with the face tattoo looks over and says, I'm fine with this. This amendment can be reached. You see that the young woman sitting next to Everin leans in and whispers something into his ear. He goes, yes, and my first candidate for one of our primary advocates would be Miss Steele here. You see, she nods her head and says, as a demigod, I see that I would be able to shepherd it better than most. My interests lie above the mortal plane, not on it. You see that the advocates in this room are starting to see that the shifting of this room is against the people who were in opposition of signing this deal. Your father then goes, well, as I told the main magistrate a couple days ago, we should have signed this deal when it was offered the first time without all of the stipulations that came with the binding book that currently sits on that table. And I think everyone in this room should abide by it. Because if we don't sign it now, they're going to add more and more and more and more stipulations. How far is it going to go before magic isn't even allowed anymore? You see that Carissa's mother goes to speak up and is silenced by Lorik's dad. To which he chimes in and goes, I've heard quite enough out of you. What, you think that because you represent the magic beyond this world and the Fae themselves, that you get to speak for everyone about where magic should be used? Yes, it escaped your realm long, long time ago, and that's all of your fault, and we're suffering the crimes because of it. I do not want to hear any more out of you or any of your kind. You are here to sign this treaty if we decide to, and that's it. You see that the other magistrates begin to agree, and you see that he goes, I propose we put it to a vote, except I propose a vote of no confidence in the main magistrate. Implement myself instead. Other magistrates begin to uproar. You see that he goes, silence! This is a perfectly valid plea. If he's not suited to lead us, then one of us should. And I think it should be me. I've put more hours and time into this than anyone else has. Reaching this deal has been a labor of love, but something we should all attune to. And in exchange, as I did conduct and have been conducting searches looking for these traitors, I propose that we turn them all over to the Valiant Empire in exchange for their sovereignty, and we leave them be, and we close ourselves off. Afterwards, there will be no conflict about elven mages doing this and that, and the Valiant people can do whatever they like with the traitorous scum who brought this ruination of our magic to this world. You see that everyone is, gasping at, the transition of this flow in this room. Nisa goes, I propose we put it to a vote now. Those in attendance can witness as this vote goes through. All in favor, and you see 80% of people raise their hand in favor of him being the new leadership. The other 20% raise their hand in opposition, including the old leader. You see that he goes, well, as effective new magistrate, I vote that we pass this amendment after making a new vote. All in favor, 80% once again raise their hand. Opposition, 20% raise their hand. Because the motion passes, 80% favorability, we will sign this document. And as I said, the traitors will be provided to you based on no other evidence besides the fact that we want to enter this agreement with good faith. You see he ushers to someone to go retrieve a book, and in it he has a list of names of people who have committed these crimes against the betterment of this kingdom and this council. You see he has a page running over to the man with the black kind of handprint on his face. You see he goes, "Great, well, I've already signed the deal, so it's up to the rest of you to sign it. You may sign it wherever you'd like, but I propose that you sign it somewhere that will mean something to you." You see your father gets up and goes, "Well, as head magistrate, I'll sign it right here." You see he walks over and he pulls out a pen from his pocket, begins to walk over, and you see that the man at the table with the black handprint on his face says, "No, this contract must be signed in blood." You see that your father places a pen back into his lapel. You see he pulls a knife from his side, slits his hand, grabs some of the blood from within the middle of his hand, and signs the contract. He looks back at the other magistrates and says, "I've effectively signed for all of you, but if you would like to sign the document yourselves, you may. There's plenty of room at the back pages." You see he goes and sits at where the head magistrate once was. The head magistrate has been ushered out of this courtroom, effectively being ousted. And you see that immediately after that, you guys hear that Lorik's father begins to whisper to one of the men in the room to take down the names of the 20% of people who didn't vote for this motion. You see that that continues on as people begin to sign the book. You see that Shiokaze and Carissa's mother get up and leave. And as they're leaving, she looks over at Shiokaze and says, "I would never sign that document." And you see that Shiokaze feels an emotion of terror, something that Shiokaze does not feel often. As we look back, you see that she looks over and she goes, "And that man should not have been in this trial," as she looks at the man with the handprint. As she heads out the doors, you see a similar manner. She swings the doors open, and instead of going up to them to push them with her hands, she waves her hands, and the doors rend themselves asunder from the metal sprockets that hold them in place. They fly through the hallway, shattering through 2 stained glass windows in front of this hallway in front of them as she begins to walk down the hall, followed by her 2 attendants. We move from this transition to a couple months ago, where 3 of our heroes once found an overturned carriage and a missing oracle. This is a vision that Shiokaze was not present for, but has heard about from a ranger who is recounting this story within the halls of what looked to be a small sheriff's office in a foreign place far off in the world. And you see that he goes, "Well, I heard something about a group matching your description. Perhaps wandering through the old Ironwoods. Perhaps they're heading to Wandermere. You could probably head them off there." You see that Shiokaze gives a slight nod, and he says, "Perhaps I could offer you a drake, something to take you there faster." Shiokaze looks and shakes their head. He looks and he goes, a boat then, perhaps. We have a boat heading upriver anytime soon. I'll get you on the next one." Shiokaze nods and extends a hand with money, and the Drake Warden says, "Oh no, an official of your stature does not pay. It's on us." Fast forward to this very moment, the spell ends.
That was the Treaty of Fetterhow. Never thought I would see it myself. Not like that, at least.
The treaty of what?
Fetterhow. Well, you saw it yourself. Outlawing elvish magic and banning the places of, new towers, it seems. Also stated that the oracle was required to be an elf when they were to stay in Elidir.
Shiokaze just kind of sighs. Just exhausted from just reliving all of those memories?
It was a very powerful contract, one that altered the fate of the world, I dare say. It detailed, presumably in place of Shiokaze, as I sort of look towards you, how magic works here. And by here, I mean Azagar, the Feywild, nearby plains. They're under our control. And with it, we shut out the gods we deemed unnecessary, leaving only those that remain. There's a copy kept in Eladir. And well, I guess, as you saw, it's when my father came to power.
Shiokaze just then sits there and is like, now you know pretty much everything.
And the rest of you might slightly begin to understand why I don't truly wish to return home. The power my father wields is, well, if he wanted me home, needed me home, I would be there. The only reason I'm still out and about is because he's decided he doesn't need me yet.
Well, let's
I'm gonna
get
say that-
going.
I'm gonna say these conversations are kind of happening as we're journeying through the landscape. So,
Mhm.
it's probably been like a couple days of you guys talking about these contracts and things, on your journey to the borders of, the nation of Eladir.
Have we arrived?
You guys are probably still a day away, as we head into this moment. Morrow, what are you up to? After learning all of this information, even if it may have cost you something.
Like as we're traveling.
Yeah. Like, do you have thoughts on all of the stuff you guys learned from that legend lore spell, or?
Do I have thoughts about it? I mean, not so much thoughts. I mean, I have questions that I'm going to ask the council when I get there, but I don't know if necessarily I would be bringing up anything to the rest of the group. Was that before or after Steele took her position?
You witnessed in that meeting, Steele was also getting something out of it. Like,
Right.
That gnomish man going, and I have the first candidate for your advocacy of magic right here. You get the idea that that is the basic tenets of where the witches came from.
Oh, okay. So
He was saying, like, we need somebody to manage magic. We can't leave it to the elves. Obviously, clearly, it's outside their jurisdiction. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So was that gnome the same guy from the previous vision?
Yes, it is the same dude.
Do I know who he is?
You could give me a history check at disadvantage.
It doesn't even need to be a disadvantage. It's not gonna check. Okay, now 20 for the first one.
Oh.
Now, hold on.
Nice.
What I would say is, if anybody has a proficiency in history and wants to help him with this roll, I will allow the nat 20 to stick.
I do have proficiency in history.
As
Oh,
do I.
okay. What I'm gonna do then is while the vision is playing, I'm gonna pause it and I'm gonna say, "Who is this guy?"
Pause play. Pause play.
Zoom in, enhance. Zoom in, enhance.
No tack, and then suddenly tack on my chair.
That is how I'm imagining it too. Is it's not like a video playing; it's like holograms of these people like moving around us. So
Yeah.
I stop it. I'm like pointing at like the holographic image of him, and I'm like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah, Ilikas, you have the name in your notes.
He's a fucker, that's what he is.
Everybody besides Chris's mom was a fucker in that room.
Sure.
His name is Everin Yurik.
Oh, that fucker.
Hmm.
I know that guy.
Yeah, I think Carissa likes Lorikstad a lot less now.
E.
That's what I've been saying. I said I don't want to go home. Everyone's like, "Oh, we'll just go meet your dad." No, you don't want to meet him.
No, now I have words for your father.
Well,
Why
Words.
didn't you kill him? He was
You gotta
obviously
get me.
defying your master.
Are
you
you
speaking
saying
to
this to
me?
me, or are you talking? Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Ilikas.
I would also say that you don't necessarily understand what the relationship between Ilikas and that person at the table were. You do
Right.
understand that the person at the table was invited, and Ilikas may have been brought as like an envoy of magic to speak to this person and provide that kind of counsel, but was not given a seat at the table. That makes sense. These
Right.
people have basically been like, we don't care what that person who knows all the secrets in the world knows, or this magic individual. We only care what these 5 people sitting at chairs have to say, essentially.
But I meant like when he was putting those pillars down. It's like it seemed like that was against the
Oh.
rules,
Yeah.
and you let him live. Why?
I guess you could say I was a little curious to see what would happen. To see if maybe, maybe it wasn't all bad. Maybe I was mistaken. But obviously, I'm fucking smart and knew it. So, it is my... They're trying not to feel guilty about possibly fucking over the entire world. They're just kind of
The world was gonna be fucked one way or the other.
Daphnis kind of like just scratches his hair for a little bit and goes, "All right."
Carissa, do you have any thoughts about the stuff we learned in that room?
I feel like after she sees after everything kind of plays out, I feel like Carissa just kind of she starts to sort through all of the memories that she has, and like she's trying to place, like she's trying to make the connection, if there's any connections between like Ilikas and the visions and like my mom and also what we've seen and everything. And I think she's just trying to connect the dots. So she's not saying a whole lot out loud, but you can tell she's lost in her own mind.
You remember?
Quite a bit.
So as you're doing this, I will say it's just a matter of time thing of you thinking about things for you to come to this conclusion.
Mhm.
Over the course of these couple days as you're walking, you do stumble upon an epiphany, which is that Your mother had a thing that she had to sign that she didn't really want to sign a long time ago. And she did eventually sign it in the garden behind your house.
Okay.
Where those flowers grow.
Oh. Okay.
And you remember how she used to tell you they were so precious that she had to take care of them. Even though they were awful.
But why would they change things? Like, it seemed like everything was going. I'm doing this in character, by the way.
Yeah.
It seemed like everything was going so great beforehand.
God, no. Meryl, the world was falling apart. The towers are what stabilized the world. Well, before, I guess Shiokaze could make the changes necessary. And the towers ensure those in power stay in power. And till they come down or that treaty is reversed somehow, those in power will stay in power.
Hmm.
Also, Shiokaze, what's that damn stone?
Which one?
You know the one.
I can speak about anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, they just cast Legend Lore, so at this point they know everything.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
The stone is my precious, none of your business. I'm just kidding.
Don't make me take it from you.
Hey, hands off. Can he even do that? Or well, actually, no. We're not gonna test that.
Held it before. I willingly gave it back.
Yeah. It is mine. It is. It was given to me, and I intend to protect it. And I don't really want to say what it is.
Well, that isn't cryptic at all.
Ooh. They kind of laugh a little bit.
I take your ring back.
Oh. What?
Oh.
What the freak? Okay.
It disappears from your finger.
Bonk. They look down. And they open their mouth like they're gonna say something. Think about it. And they're like, nah. They
Ava,
say, okay.
do you have any pressing questions from the events that happened in that Legend Lore spell?
Not. She doesn't really have. Oh, she does. Like, she has questions, but she doesn't know how to word them. She's just wondering, like, about how it was Steel. After she had gained power, like, what exactly should she do with it more after the fact? And then looking at Lorix's dad and wondering, how did he just send people to die that didn't vote for the treaty? if that was the case, is that what Eva insinuated correctly?
I mean, there is an assumption that you can make about people who don't vote for the guy who goes to supreme power and what he does to those people after.
You said you didn't say this out loud?
No, she's just thinking to herself.
Okay.
And then she's thinking about Chris's mom, how she had met her, and was wondering, is this before or after she met her? If this correlates in the same timeline. And she's just wondering, just everything, and wondering, what did her mom fall in? Like, after the fact, how long after this did her coven start? It was just a lot of little questions. A lot of things.
Yeah. As you guys walk along the road here, you guys gender to basically gender. What the fuck? You guys venture was the word I was looking for. Out into what looks to be like a section of the road. So Lorik would know that this section of the road leads to the gate, but essentially what it is it's like a little round kind of like curve in the main road that leads to like other cities off to the west. And this curve only exists because it was once a fork. But since the borders had been closed and these roads haven't been used like in a long, long time, all of the stuff that's grown over this road, and the road is only kept to on this side of the fork. So you guys are about to reach like the edge of the pathway. And as you do, there is a cart, like a wagon, and it's been overturned. It's on its side. The horses are gone, and it looks like there was a driver who is dead, and somebody else who's laying against the top of the cart as if they have slumped over and have been injured in some way, but are like holding themselves as if to prevent themselves from bleeding out, and are just laying there next to the top of the cart.
All right. Elvish eyes, I scan. Look
Yeah,
for
go ahead and
clues.
give me an investigation check.
Legolas.
All right,
You're
that's a
up, man.
natural 2.
Oh.
8.
Jesus.
An 8.
I have not rolled above a 5 this session, in case anyone was curious.
You need to
My
Yeah,
highest
you
roll has
look
been a
around.
3.
You look around the cart, and you see that there are signs of somebody had attacked this cart. You're not sure the number of people. Like, there's a lot of commotion around the ground. So you're not sure, like, how many people attacked the cart or how many people were with the cart initially. But you see that the horses are gone. The cart's been overturned. It's open in the back. It looks like it contained, like, items of some kind that you haven't yet to, like, go and peruse. And the man in front of you, laying against the top of the cart, is not yet dead, but he is rapidly approaching death's door.
I relay this information to the rest of the party.
Well, alrighty then. I guess Shiokaze will go up to the man and try to keep him from dying so that he can tell us what the fuck happened.
You approach the man. He looks to be asleep at the moment. He is holding pressure on his wound. It looks like he is tied. Not only his like he's taken some cloth. It looks like he's wearing like a cloak at some point that he's ripped. Not only did he tie his hand over the wound, but he tied like the hand bound to his body so that it could keep pressure even while he's asleep. And you get the idea that he's been like this for a while.
I am going to go over and inspect him, and try to I guess. Oh, I'm sorry. Fuck. Not trying to fuck him. Try to fix what I can.
Sure. We'll just let you go ahead and mend to him at this moment. And as you do, you will like begin to help him, but it's gonna take you a second. Is there other stuff other people want to do while we are tending to the person at the car?
Lord continues to try to look and fails.
Okay.
Lord.
What's in the cart?
Go ahead and give me
What's the
another
goods?
investigation check. Yeah. What's in the box?
I guess,
What you got, Carissa?
I think upon seeing Lork, just kind of like looking at like, I think she can tell that Lork doesn't know what the fuck happened. Carissa wants to go over and join Lork and try to find like any tracks or figure out kind of what happened if she can.
Okay.
So
Go ahead and give me an investigation check, just like everyone else. If everybody wants to roll one, go ahead. It's fine.
Oh, I already failed. Don't worry about me.
I know you did.
Investigation? Okay.
Investigation.
I got a 15.
I only have a +6 in that roll.
I got an 11.
11.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I'll just. And
Okay.
10.
Man, you guys really hobble together on this roll, huh?
Can we just get a group average?
I don't want to
Right.
take the average. I
I
roll
don't think
6.
you want an average. I
Oh.
think you just want Carissa's roll.
Yeah.
All of you are very confused about what this scene is. It looks like a regular cart, like a courier's cart. Carissa, however, with a 15, you notice two things that instantly fix this problem for you. Okay? They don't give you all of the information, but they certainly help you put together maybe what happened. Okay?
Okay.
Number one, he's wearing a brooch, and the brooch has a symbol on it you recognize.
Oh Lord. Okay.
The brooch is a... One second.
One.
I'm looking up the
Yeah.
right dude. It is a left hand pointing upwards, outlined in fire. The fire is cerulean blue.
Oh my God, that sounds so familiar. Okay.
And the inside of his cloak is also cerulean blue.
Okay.
Rather, Nox knows who this is.
Oh, wait a minute. I know who these guys are.
Hold on. I'm gonna have to look through my notes, but it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh God. Okay. Cool. I will relay that to the rest of the party.
Okay.
Remember correctly, aren't these the guys that showed up in the bar
That is correct.
twice and tried to hit on Carissa?
Oh, is it Adrian?
Adrian is not with these people. Adrian, if you remember,
Okay.
Adrian killed
his
them.
bodyguard killed one of these dudes.
Oh,
as
just
they were
kidding.
leaving.
Hold on.
Yeah. I got you. I'm with you. You're tracking. You're getting there.
Didn't I like play cards with these guys?
Potentially. I think you walked
Like
over and had a
session
little
2.
chat with him. Yeah.
They're like, "Oh yeah, we're looking for you." I'm like, "I don't know who that is." Want to
Yeah.
play cards?
Isn't it the don't they worship the god Ilmater?
No, that
Well,
is
no.
Adrian.
Okay, that was just specifically
So
Adrian. Okay.
Adrian is Ilmater.
Okay.
These are the
Gotcha.
spy wizards.
That is true. Moro, this is the Azith Order.
Oh, one second. I start to leaf through my bag and I pull out one of their badges.
Oh my God.
I put it on. As I do, my robe turns to the color of their order.
That like cerulean blue. Yeah.
I look at everyone like, what?
Alright.
Oh goodness.
Do I know what level this guy is?
The dude laying on the ground holding his injury.
Yeah, like is he
I think
Is there-
or 5 level 9 characters could probably kill him in one
Right.
turn. So
Stab.
Uh,
I was kidding.
I give he's healed now. He's like stabilized now, right?
yeah, he's still like semi unconscious, but yes.
I am gonna grab his shoulder and give him a little shake, like wake him up.
You see he kind of shakes his head. What
Hold up.
happened?
Debrief. What's happened here?
We were attacked. We didn't even see who it was. They stabbed me and they started rummaging through the cart. I think they thought I was dead. I just did what I could to not move and hopefully somebody would come to our rescue. They said our contents were important, but I didn't see anything in there that wasn't regular.
What were you carrying?
A bunch of parcels from an airship arrived from Iriu a couple weeks ago. But nothing out of the ordinary.
Which airship?
I'm sorry, I don't have... I'm not the guy who would know that information. It might be in a ledger, but...
It's all right. You're doing fine, son. You're doing fine. Do
Um,
you have a ledger? Where is it?
It would be in the back.
Can I? Chris is gonna run over and she's gonna look and see what are the contents left in the wagon, in the cart.
It looks like a bunch of the packages and parcels have been like ripped apart to like reveal the contents of them. And you see in some of these packages you see stacks of papers that look like death certificates. You see a couple of them that look like birth certificates. All of these are forgeries from that place that you saw a while ago. The medicinal like shed.
Okay.
And then beyond those packages, however, you see that what's interesting is that they tore everything in the cart apart except the cart itself. And you get the idea, looking in the back, that somebody who's carrying important shit doesn't carry it out with all the other parcels. They put a bunch of shit in the back so that people dig through it and find crap. And they hide the stuff that's important behind the pieces of the cart or of the carriage itself. So you think that like people who are digging in here probably didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
As you look into a section of the cart that's been overturned, one of the cabinets that has some of the paperwork and stuff looks like it has fallen open and tilted. And in the back, behind the drawer, you see the hilt of a sword. And that is where we're going to end tonight's section.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Ooh. Cliffhanger.
Yippee!
Oh my goodness. Ah. Okay.
Well, that's not good. Or maybe exceedingly good. Find out next time, I guess.
True.
Next time. Okay, good night.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night,
chat.
chat.
Good night,
Good night,
chat.
chat.
Tuck you in.
Night, chat.
Kiss in the forehead. Chat.
Mhm. Pep.
Okay, good night, everyone. This is a good stop for us. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night or a good day wherever you are in the world. And we'll tune in on the next stream, whenever that will be. Bye-bye.
of the parcels, like 2 seconds after you said it. I don't know if you could hear. I was furiously flipping through my notebook to make sure I was correct.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, I know this one.
I think I rolled 3 times this session, and I rolled a 1, a 2, and a 3.
I mean, you can only go up from there.
Brother, I was like,